Good evening and welcome to 10-Minute Travel Tuesday. No, wait, that's what we used to call it, right? This is Let's Talk Travel with George and Deanna. It's our podcast that we do every Tuesday night, and we're so happy that you're here with us tonight. Tonight, we're on Artemis.
Artemis, yeah, look at us. Woo, we're in
Look at that right there.
space.
That is totally not a green screen. Totally not. That is right out of the Artemis window.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
moon. We thought that would be appropriate
Yeah.
for tonight. Hello to all of our friends in Houston, the base of all the operations for Artemis. So they're keeping in contact with folks in Houston. We happen to be in Kentucky this week. I was up here doing a couple of auctions and stuff like that this past weekend. So we are still in Kentucky right now. But let us know where you are. We always love it when people join us and
Right.
share this,
Right.
right?
Share it, like it, share it on your page so we get to see more people that you know that might like us too.
Yeah.
We love to expand our community in that way.
And tell us what you think of our Artemis
Yeah.
background
I
to
think
our
it's pretty. If only I had a little spaceship. I need to get some of the kids' toys out and
if you
find a
see
little
like an
spaceship.
alien floating across or something, let us know that too. Anyway, tonight we're going to kind of talk to you a little bit about what we did last night. We had a launch party for 2027 trips for Lindsay Adventures. And tonight we thought we'd bring you a little bit of what we did last night with the launch party and talk about the trips that we're going to be doing.
Except we won't have any wine.
We won't have any
We
wine.
had
Well,
wine.
we have wine.
We have wine,
We
but
have
we can't
wine
really
just off to
share
the
it.
side of Artemis is where you'll find it over there. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about our 2027 trips tonight, and you can start making plans for those. All right. So let's get right into it. We don't want to take
Absolutely.
too long. Again,
Absolutely.
3 different trips for next year.
2027.
And again, we're still going to Portugal in 21 days.
Yes.
We're going to the Canadian Rockies this summer. And we still have 3 rooms available for Iceland. If you'd like to join us in Iceland, we're going this October 2026. And if you'd like to go to Iceland, now is the time to get in that because price increase on the Iceland trip is coming in just a couple of weeks. So you want to lock in that lower price.
Right.
And again, we're down to 3 cabins left for us, or 3 rooms.
3 rooms.
It's
I don't
not
think
really
they're
a
cabins.
cruise or anything like that. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing in 2027. And that is we're starting out with kind of a trip that we'd never really done before. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share our screen here. And we're going to start out tonight with our very first trip. We're going to start with what we're doing for 2027. And that is the Footsteps of Paul.
Oh,
This is an 11-day, 19-meal trip that we're going to be taking to Greece and parts of Turkey as we're going to be going in the footsteps of Paul. And this isn't just like a trip. This is like a journey that you're going to feel, okay? We're talking about walking through places where history didn't just happen, it changed the world, and that is Greece and Turkey. And we start out our trip talking a little bit about an overview of where we're going to go. You can see here all the different places in Greece and Turkey that we're going to be visiting. And this is a trip too that is the travel style they call it faith. And Deanna, that is something that we talked about last night.
right.
This is definitely a new style for us. We're going to be stepping into some of the stories that you grew up on in the Bible.
Vacation Bible school days.
Vacation Bible school days. But again, this is something just so you know about our group. We do love our wine at dinner and things like
Absolutely.
that. But we also love the history and the faith side of travel. I
Right.
always say, when we have a chance to visit cathedrals and
Yep.
churches,
We always do.
that is always my favorite. The spiritual side of travel is always one of my favorite things. This is going to be a little bit more active than what we've done in the past.
Right. This is a little more, there's probably a little more longer walking tours. Usually our walking tours are an hour and a half, tops 2 hours. These are probably going to max out at about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of steps. Everywhere you're going to go, you're going to climb up somewhere or climb down somewhere. So just be aware if steps are difficult for you, this might not be one you want to do.
Again, a level 3 on the activity level. We start here in Athens. And this is one of the places that we've talked about. I mean, this city has been around since before most of the history books were even around. And then we go to Corinth, where Paul lived and preached. We stand in the Agora, which is one of the places that obviously he taught. This is the Agora there that you see. And then we go to Bema, which is a place that where he stood trial. And also, this view is from the top of Mars Hill,
Oh,
and it's where Paul delivered his famous message, Men of Athens.
okay.
So, not just the history, but I mean, we're going to be standing in the middle of it. Then we get to visit the Acropolis. The good news is you don't have to climb up that wall. That's not the part
Thank
of the
goodness.
level
Are there
three.
ropes or anything? Is it like a zip line or
We actually
yeah.
get to be taken up there, but then you get to walk around
Okay,
the Acropolis there, one of the
good.
most iconic sites on Earth. It really is amazing. And this is on day 2 that we're there. And then that evening, as you can see in the background there, we just come down from the Acropolis and we have dinner at this restaurant, which is just in the shadow
Oh, it's
of
gorgeous.
the Acropolis. Great music, a great food, a little music there, and a whole lot of, again, a whole lot of memories that we're going to be making there. Then, after a couple of days in Athens, this trip, this Footsteps of Paul trip, we're going to be boarding actually a cruise ship. And we're going to take a 3-day cruise around the Greek Isles and into Turkey. And part of that is the first stop on our stop is going to be Mykonos. The white
Beautiful.
buildings, the blue skies, the
Oh,
winding streets. You've heard
beautiful.
about it,
Look at
you've
that.
seen it. Time to kind of explore a little bit, walk around, or sit at a cafe, just kind
Right.
of soak it all in. It's one of those places where you don't really need a plan. You just kind of get to wander around and enjoy. And then we arrive in Turkey. As part of this cruise, we're going to be visiting Ephesus. And this is one of the facades in Ephesus, which, of course, is one of the most incredible ancient sites and one that we've, again, heard about
Mhm.
all of our life from Sunday school and things
The
like
Book
that.
of Ephesians.
The book of Ephesians,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
All of this there. I mean, you're walking through a city here where Paul walked. I mean, he spent years teaching there, and it's not roped off. It's not some distant museum piece. You're actually walking right there as we go through Ephesus. You'll get a chance to see this massive theater. There's marketplaces that we're going to visit. And again, you're right in the middle of all of it. And part of the visit is going to be this. This is the house of the Virgin Mary. This is believed and has been reported that this is where she spent the last years of her life. Quiet, peaceful, and just an absolute beautiful thing that you get to experience while we're there. After that, our next stop is Patmos, another one of the islands just off of Turkey. And they call this the Holy Island because this is where John received his vision and wrote the book of Revelation. This is the monastery of John that you will get a chance to see while we're there. But also, one of the interesting things is this. This is one of those places, supposedly a cave where John wrote most of Revelation. And that's what the plaques say on the side, kind of commemorating that. So you'll get a chance
I
to
wonder
see
how
it.
his internet connection was there. Do you think
Probably
it worked
not
out
good in a
okay for him?
cave, I would say. But again, this is all part of the footsteps of Paul. I don't want to take too much time here.
It's
After
just
you, I mean,
beautiful.
just absolutely gorgeous.
Uh,
Then our cruise ship takes us to Santorini. Again, whitewashed villages, the blue domes. I mean, it's just absolutely
it doesn't get prettier than that. It just
amazing.
doesn't.
We visit a little town called Oi. I hope I'm saying that right. Oi.
Yeah,
That's the
sure.
way I would
Close enough.
pronounce it
Yeah.
anyway. Again, another one of the cliffside towns that we get to see there, and we kind of get to wander through the streets and just take in all of the beauty that's there. And then we go to one of the more interesting places. This is I don't even know how to say it.
Thessaloniki.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, no, that's Thermopylae.
Thermopylae. Yeah, okay. I was going to
Okay.
say that Thessaloniki. I practice. I can get that
Thessaloniki,
one.
yeah.
But again, one of the places there with just some great history behind it.
Mhm.
We get a chance while we're there to visit Byzantine monks and how they drew their art and the art that you see from churches all around the world. And then we go to a place called Kalambaka.
Kalambaka.
Kalambaka, that's what it is. Yes, thank you. And the interesting thing about this is home to monasteries that
Look at
are on
that.
top of hills. I mean, just
Yeah. Oh gosh.
absolutely incredible. We will get a chance to visit one of these monasteries while we're there.
That wasn't us, by the
That
way.
was not us. I'm
I don't
not
know who
sure
that
who that
was.
is. And then after that, we go to Thessaloniki.
Thessaloniki. Now you got me.
Nike,
It's
yeah.
the Book of Thessalonians.
Thessalonians, right. I was going to say, and I know that because also we get a chance to go to Philippi,
Philippi.
which is Philippians, right?
Philippians.
Again, places that Paul wrote and taught. Philippi, by the way, is where Paul first brought the message to Europe, and where he unfortunately later in his life was imprisoned too. So there we go. And then we make our way back, and you get a chance to again see the beauty that is
Athens.
Athens. I mean, just absolutely.
Hey, that's us.
Yeah, and the reason I put that in there
Yeah.
is because there's also a
Oh.
4-day extension, if you'd like. You can be part of that, and you can hang on. Let me get out of that picture. You can be 4 days in Rome if you'd
Oh,
like.
we
So
loved Rome. Rome was spectacular.
absolutely loved
Spectacular.
it, loved it,
Mhm.
loved it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So many people jumping in. Before we get to our other 2 trips, we still have 2 trips we're going to go through real quick, I promise. Julia says, good evening. Thanks, Julia. Appreciate it. Bonnie's watching tonight. Hi, Bonnie. Olga says, pick me, pick me. It's so beautiful. The Acropolis, definitely worth visiting.
Yep.
Greece is on my bucket list, says Casey. And Greg says, the Greece trip will be wonderful. Saw a lot of these locations last year on the cruise. I remember that,
Mhm.
Greg. As a matter of fact, that was one of the things that really we loved your all's pictures from there, and that was one of the things that was kind of in our thinking when we set it up. So, Joe Zimmer just jumped in. Hey, Joe. Good evening. Welcome in. And Elizabeth says, definitely interested and already talking to others about it.
Absolutely.
That was one thing I did want to mention with this one.
Mhm.
It's a little unusual in that it being the kind of the faith-based tour, if you will, or a lot of it is obviously it's called the Footsteps of Paul. We've been asked by a couple of people already if we would come and do a
Right.
presentation to their Sunday school class.
We had a Bible study class.
We had a Bible study
Yep.
class that has asked us to do that. We're happy to do that. And
Yeah.
I mean that. We honestly
Oh, yeah.
will travel to you wherever you are. If you're in North Carolina, there's some people watching tonight, or you're in
Atlanta,
Atlanta,
wherever.
Colorado, wherever. We just want to get this message out there because we feel like this is one of those trips that just is going to be really, really
Mhm.
special. So you all just let us know about that. All right. All right. So that is the Footsteps of Paul. That is going to be April 20th through the 30th. Or the 31st, I can't remember. I think it's 11 days. So the 20th through the 31st
Yeah.
of April next year. If you're wondering, Easter is early next year. Easter is on March 28th. So this will be after Easter, and you'll have a chance to go along. But a great time of the
Oh,
year to
absolutely.
visit there, and kind of the shoulder season. So it's going to
Mhm.
be less crowded than it would be during the summer.
But it'll be
That some of the
spring
other
there, so the weather should be
should be
perfect.
perfect.
Should be
Should be
perfect.
perfect too.
And all the details for this are on our website too. If you have any other questions
Yep.
and you want
And
to
that website is
lindsay-adventures.com.
so the moon right over there. See, still.
We're actually in space
We're
right
yeah.
now.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. Now let's get to our next trip. Let's go back to share the screen here because our next trip up is what I want to talk about, and that's going to be one that we're very, very excited about. Let me get to the picture here and slideshow, please. From the current slide, there we go.
There we go.
That's the
Rome.
stay
Oop, there we go.
highlights of Norway.
Woof.
Highlights of Norway is where we're going in the summertime. We're going to be there, and we're going to be there for 9 days. And I don't know about you, but any place where I get to say the word fjord
Fjord.
several times while we're there, I'm very
Fjord.
excited about it. The other thing I'm excited about is there's a cruise on this as well. There is also a train ride that is supposed
Yes.
to be pretty spectacular. Let's talk about it.
And a funicular, right?
No,
No?
not a funicular.
Okay.
It's something even better than a
Okay, even
funicular.
better.
So here's where we're going in Norway. Kind of gives you an overview of some of the areas that we're going to be visiting on the times that we're there. This is a classic style, and again, classic style means
Means lots of local guides. We see a lot. We try and cover almost the whole country. We'll have several different spectacular hotels and
yep.
a local guide at each one who will show us
So
all the local stuff.
kind of what you would think about for our classic style. This is much easier pace.
Yep.
This is a 2 on the moderate level.
Yep.
Walking, climbing up at least a couple of flights of stairs, kind of a variety of terrain. So we try to stay in that 2 range. I will tell you again, the Footsteps of Paul is a 3. All right. This
Look at
is
that.
how we start. We get there the first day. I
This
don't know
is
if we're on a
Bergen, right?
I don't know if we're on a fjord yet,
Fjord, Bergen,
but
a
this is
fjord.
Bergen, and this is just one of the places that is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, if that doesn't say Norway, I don't know what
Oh,
is.
look at
And a
that.
little bit more of the city that you
Beautiful.
see along the
Just
waterfront
beautiful.
there. Our first day there, you get to explore the city a little bit. We have a guided tour around town, and then we will have dinner on the waterfront that night while we're in Bergen, Norway. We also visit one of their museums that goes way back. This is kind of their folk museum, the National Folk Museum there in Bergen, and it is really supposed to be
You
something to
you wanna
behold.
you wanna pronounce the name of this museum?
Sure.
It's the
Nordfjord?
Nordfjord.
Nordfjord. That sounds like the Swedish chef, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Nordfjord, that's just part of it. This is also part of the folk museum, the
Yep.
outside where you see some of the traditional buildings and the moss roofs, stuff like that. And this is the town that we're going to be staying in. We, as I said, we start in Bergen, but we really, once we get out of Bergen and get into the countryside, is where we love. That's where the adventure
Yeah.
really starts, as you can see here. This is a town called Loen, which is right in the heart of the fjords. You just kind of walk outside and stand there for a second because I think my brain needs a little time to
Yep.
catch up with my eyes. The same thing happened to me when we went to Switzerland. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
had to stand there for a minute. But you have a chance to see, we're going on a couple of cruises that are going to be out on the fjords. We'll actually go, it's a day cruise, if you will, that'll take us across here. But you'll get a chance to go by all of the waterfalls. Some of the most, these are the highest waterfalls in all of Norway. You'll get a chance to go past waterfalls with names like the Seven Sisters, the Bridal Veil, and somehow you'll get a chance to see all of the farms and all the houses that are built up on the sides of the mountain as we tour the fjords or the
Fjord.
Nord Fjords.
Nordfjords with
Then we get to
Bjorn
go
Borg?
on the sky lift. This is
The
one of
skylift.
the highest sky lifts in all of Europe. And as we say, if there's not a funicular or a sky lift, then we don't want to
We don't
go.
wanna go.
But it gives you some beautiful views as you go over the
Wow,
valleys
look at that.
there. It reminds me a lot of Switzerland, what we
It's
saw in
beautiful.
Switzerland, just absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
This is where we actually then get a chance to get on what they call the Flam Railroad or Flam, it's
I think it's
FLAM
Flom.
Flam, I believe it is
Oh.
Flam. Railroad. It is one of the steepest railroad train rides anywhere in the world. You'll get a chance to go past the waterfalls that you can see at the top of the picture there. The train is at the bottom. You'll also get a chance to get right up into the mountains and sit by a window, please, because you're going to
Yep.
have some beautiful views out of there. Then we get to visit one of the most, I think, unique things we've ever done. This is the Borgen Stave Church. You've seen it in movies. You've seen it
Mhm.
in a couple of thrillers and in movies that have gone back to that Nordic time. It was featured in Game of Thrones a couple of times.
Mhm.
It was featured in what was the one that we liked about what's his name? I can't remember. It was on Netflix where he was the Babenberg or whatever.
Uhtred,
Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Anyway,
The
it was
Last
featured
Kingdom.
The
The
Last
Last
Kingdom. It
Kingdom.
was featured
Uhtred,
on The
son
Last
of
Kingdom.
Uhtred.
I know that's a long way to get there. Sorry, thanks for putting up with that. But if you watch The Last Kingdom, it was featured in
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you get a chance to see it. Then we make our way to Oslo. And obviously it
So
shifts a little
beautiful.
bit here. Oslo, one of the most metropolitan, worldwide, world-known cities. A great food scene, great culture, but again, still surrounded by the natural beauty that is that is Norway. We go to the Fram Museum while we're there, kind of the polar exploration and polar history of some of the exploration that left from Norway into the heart of the polar region. And again, this is not just a trip. I think this is something that you're really going to learn about as well as be there. The Royal Palace in Oslo is there, of course. Another picture of the Royal Palace where we're going to be visiting. Deanna and I down on the docks.
No,
And
we
then
weren't
you
in
have a
Norway.
pre-night and optional pre-night stay in Norway. So that really does. Hang on, let me get back to us here where we can talk just a little bit. We're doing a lot of pictures tonight, I
Right.
know, but I just wanted you to get a sense of what we're talking about, though. So,
Oh, these trips are gonna be gorgeous. You'll wanna take every picture yourself for sure.
by the way, Elizabeth, thank you for correcting. April only has 30 days. Not on my calendar, Elizabeth. Not on my
And we
calendar.
probably come
So,
back May 1st,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
one of those days.
Let's see. Also, Cynthia says thinking about the Norway trip.
Yes,
Julie says the Norway trip sounds awesome.
it's
Here's the
gonna be
best thing about
fantastic.
it. It's going to happen in the end of July. So when everything is hot and muggy in Houston or here or the Carolinas or Georgia or wherever you
Yep,
are tonight watching this, you'll have a chance to
yeah.
go someplace cooler. And we really like that. So Norway will be our second trip. And again, that'll be in July. And then the last one,
The last one.
which we don't have exact dates for, but we are starting a sign up list for people that are interested in our last one. And that is a trip that we're pretty excited about because it's someplace that we've thought about ever since we were in Ireland. And that is, we're going to go to Scotland. That's where we're headed for our last trip of 2027. 10 days, 15 meals. And again,
Oh,
Scotland is this is one you've been looking forward
yeah,
to. So
yeah. I'm a sucker for a man in a kilt.
yeah. And bagpipes,
And
evidently.
bagpipes, I do like
This again
bagpipes,
is the
yeah,
classic
yeah,
style. It's going to have about 30 to 35 people on the trip. It is also a level two. We try to stay in that range,
right.
but it's a level two, so you'll like it very much. This is where we're going. We're going to start in Glasgow. We'll go through the whole thing up through Loch Ness, Thurso, Inverness, and then back to Edinburgh. We'll be there for a couple of days and then fly out. There is also a pre-extension tour. You can spend 3 nights in London with a guided tour there if you'd like to go on this Scotland trip that we're going to be doing. And this is in October,
I was shooting for mid-September for this one
mid-September. Okay.
because that's the best time to go that far north
Yeah.
on that area.
We're like 16, 17
Right.
months away, so we don't have exact dates yet, but we will. You arrive in Glasgow day 2. Welcome to Glasgow. You get a chance to explore the city a little bit. Our welcome dinner will be featuring the House of Piping as the bagpipe players will be there to perform for us at dinner time. This is our hotel in Glasgow, right downtown. Beautiful and also a very good, from what I understand, a very good food area
Ooh,
of
good.
town. So day 3 starts with a whiskey stop. I mean, come on.
Well, put that in there,
Uh,
George.
a little Scottish whiskey, yeah, a
A little
little
whiskey
Scotch. I
for you
could take
there.
that.
Sure.
Well, so
Okay. Good.
we do a whiskey stop. This is some of the places that we're going to be
Yeah.
going. The moors, the locks, the glens, we're taking them all in, the highlands.
Are we gonna see the Loch Ness Monster?
We actually, it's funny you say that. First of all, we're going to stay at this hotel. Talk
Say it.
about being in the middle of nowhere.
It's gorgeous.
It is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to be staying at this wonderful hotel. And from there, we'll be going to the Isle of Skye.
Oh, look at that.
Gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
Where the Scottish cattle live out on the peninsula there.
they call 'em a Highland
Oh,
coo?
coo.
Coo, is that
Somebody
what they
told
say?
it just like
Bonnie said that.
moo, except with a
The
C,
C.
it's coo instead of cow. I still think it's a Highland cow, and I think that cow
I
looks
just
like
wanna brush his hair.
he
He looks
looks
so sweet.
he looks like the grunge movement out of Seattle in the 90s a little bit. Fun fact, there are more sheep on the Isle of Skye than there are people, which for me is a selling point. Then we get a chance to go to the Urquhart Castle and Loch
Ooh, Loch
Ness.
Ness.
So you get
Alright.
a chance to tour around this, and then we actually get a boat ride out on Loch
Ooh,
Ness to find Nessie if we get a
awesome.
chance. The next day, we go to a town called Thorso. That'll be kind of our stop for a couple of days there. We'll get a chance to see some areas around there. We'll stay at this beautiful Pentland Hotel, which again is downtown. And from there, we'll take a cruise, and it's the farthest north that you can go and be in Scotland, and that's the Orkney Islands. And we'll be cruising out to those islands on day 6. And I did say islands.
Yes.
How many do you think there are?
Ooh, 3,
Actually, way more than that.
7.
There are 70 islands.
Oh, wow, I was way wrong on that.
70 Orkney Islands. 20 of them are inhabited. We're going to visit a couple of them, and you get beautiful scenes. Again, reminds me of the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland, but the
Oh,
Scottish version of
the
that.
Scottish version, which is obviously going to be better.
While we're there, we'll see their standing stones, which is kind of their Stonehenge, if you will. Kirkwall is the town that we'll be staying in. We also will get a chance to see one of the oldest fortifications in Europe, and that is the Skara Brae. You'll get a chance to walk around. It was built way long ago,
Long time
a
ago.
long time
Long,
ago,
long time.
and is really well
It's
preserved. And
beautiful.
yeah, they do a good job. Then you wouldn't be in Scotland unless you got a chance to go to a castle, right? The Dunrobin Castle will be our stop for their day 7. You'll get a chance to see the beautiful gardens like you see on the left there. You'll get a chance to tour through the castle, see the library that they have there. And then you'll have a chance that afternoon to split off and go to one of two. One of the historic battlefields is the Culloden Battlefield,
Culloden.
Culloden,
Mhm.
and then Inverness Castle.
Inverness. Mhm.
I got that right?
There you go. Yeah,
Okay.
that's easy. Isn't Culloden where Braveheart was and all that?
I believe that is
Is that right?
correct. Yeah,
Are
I
you gonna
believe that.
paint your face blue
I am
and
not.
yeah,
I
oh,
am not.
no? Okay.
Day 8 is a sheepdog experience. The one we had in, if it's anything like the one we had
Oh,
in
yeah.
Ireland, just spectacular. And then after the sheepdog, you'll get a chance to go to kind of choose where you want to go. Another whiskey tour, if you'd like. The Queen's View, where Queen Victoria and her husband stayed, and also one of the I'm not even going to try that one. The gorge, where I know it's the place of a big battle for Scotland. I
Okay.
am not the guide, so I
Same.
don't have to know
Yes.
all of these.
I'm not either, but I
Uh,
know a good guide,
when we get
so
back to Edinburgh, this is where we're going to be staying. The Radisson Blue, which again is in Old Town and is pretty much a castle that
mm,
they've turned into a hotel. We'll be there for 2 nights. We'll have a cooking experience the first night where we actually get a chance to make dinner. Always love these. And then the next day, day 9, you get to tour Edinburgh Castle. It is just one of the most spectacular places there. Crown jewels inside the castle, the grounds. You'll get a chance to see it. And then you get some free time for that 9th day in the afternoon. You can do some shopping, the National Museum, the Calton Hill, any of those places you want to go. Oh, wait, there we are up in the mountains.
that's not Scotland.
It's not Scotland, Switzerland, I believe. And then the tour ends there. So, oh, there we
There we
go.
go. Yeah.
Tour ends there. So that tells you a little bit about where we're going
You can leave it on that. That's really
and
pretty.
why we're going. Let me get back to this. There we go. So anyway, thanks. I know this has been a little bit longer show, but we had a lot to go over here. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can drop them in the comments, even if we're getting ready to wrap up the show,
Right.
because we'll see them later and respond to you. But some Julia said she loved Edinburgh when she was there. I know when we went to Ireland, we had some folks that did the
Edinburgh.
post extension
Mhm.
and went to Edinburgh
Right.
and were there for a while. So those are 3 trips in 2027. We'd
Right.
love for you to go with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have any big questions, you can direct message us on our Facebook page. We'll be happy to answer you, or you can check out more information at lindsay-adventures.com. And we have the 2 trips that we have finalized up. You can put your deposit in today and reserve your room. Scotland should be up in the next month.
Yeah.
So we should
Hopefully
get
we'll
that
get
settled.
those dates. But yeah, you can go ahead and put your deposit in. It's $698 per person for a deposit. deposit that will hold your room and again allow you time to, kind of think
Right.
about it. Plenty of time if you want to get ready for 2027. But we had, I believe, 5 people that gave us the information signed up last night
Yep.
for the Footsteps of Paul. I think that's going to be one that's going to go really well.
Yep.
And we had so many people that
Oh,
signed up, and we'll have that. In the meantime, we're going to try to get that up on the website too, where you can simply just put in your name and your
right.
email and say, "I am definitely interested in Scotland. When you get the
Right.
dates, let me know, and we'll send
Absolutely.
those right out." So,
Absolutely.
okay. What are you most excited about for 2027?
Oh, all of it.
All of it?
But it's like I wanna do that, but we have to get through all these fun trips this year first,
I know
so
you. That's the toughest part for us is that I am so pumped about going to Portugal. I
I
cannot
know.
wait. But you got to kind of divide your attention because we also want to think about
Yeah,
2027 and get those out in time for you to do that. So again, anyway, Julia says big plans for 2027.
absolutely,
Big
absolutely.
plans.
Yep.
And we want you to go along with us. Any questions, whatever, email us, lindsayadventures@gmail.com, or you can simply leave us a message on Facebook. Like I said, ask your question in the comments and we'll get back to you. That's going to wrap up our show tonight. One of the longest ones I think we've ever
Right,
done.
it's a long one.
But it was
We
a
had a lot,
lot of
lot.
information to get through tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you next Tuesday night on Let's Talk Travel. Good night, everyone.